Morning, everybody. Gave my voice a little bit of a break yesterday. It's still a little bit off, but totally worth it to have a great day over at the stadium. And it really was a great day. Great day all the way around on Sunday. Also a great day on Saturday, Friday. The whole week was just awesome. And, it was funny because I think that there's a lot of people that are out there, that they're into the astrology and, they're into the, just taking a look at how things align. And that's important stuff. Like I'm not completely immersed in it, but I believe in it. And the reason that I believe in it is because I do believe that there are different energies that are out there. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Mike. Great to see you. Good morning, Dave. But I think that's important with everything, right? You have to be kind of a little bit balanced and measured with everything that's out there. You have to kind of give everything, research. Good morning, Amanda. You have to give everything, just a little bit of investigation. And, not be over the top with it. And that's how I feel most of us are, myself included. You guys know that, I'm spiritual, and I'm not particularly religious, but that I do believe, and I do have faith, and I do pray. So I think it's important when we start to get thrown off track. And I think, good morning, Jackie. And I think that what's been happening the past month or so, there's been a lot of stress, right? There's been a lot of strain. There's been a lot of frustration, and people that would ordinarily be smiling, be happy, be exuberant, be jubilant, joyful, positive, focused, productive, effective, efficient, all those words. I love it. That's awesome, Amanda. So, yeah, big good morning is right. Good morning, Bill. Love you, buddy. I know. You remember too, brother. So, I think it's tough to knock people who are that way off of their path, off of, and get them distracted, from what it is that they're focused in on and how they're living their lives. But it's important to realize that Rooster was Mike with Bruiser. What's going on, brother? Kathy, oh man, it's so great to see y'all. I think it's really, really important to know that we're all human beings, guys. We are really all just human beings. And we all struggle every day. There's always going to be failures. There's always going to be questions. There's always going to be doubt. But the more conditioned we get to become stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, for me, in my life, I'll give you an example. People will go, Pete, why don't you allow the situation with your daughter to affect you? Or, why don't you allow the situation with maybe that's going on with some members of your family to affect you? And I'll respond to that in that I just try to be the best person that I can be. I'm not going to have regret or any hard feelings or animus. It's not even, good morning, Lisa, great to see you, hon. It's not even about worrying about what it is that they're doing. And I think that's where a lot of us get thrown off, our path, our track. Because, we want to change what somebody else is doing. And that's impossible. It really, really is. To just you're going to do this. And we know that we're all going to put it up. We're all going to fight. The only way that you can affect that change is by being who you are. In subtle ways, subtle cues that you give somebody else, encouragement, whatever they get from you by seeing you, or whatever your interaction is with them. A text, phone call, small gesture, giving them a donut or hot cocoa or spaghetti. I had a great spaghetti dinner, a good friend of mine. It was awesome. Absolutely, Lisa. So thank you so much for that dinner. It was wonderful. A beautiful house, and spaghetti dinner. I had stuffed peppers. It was just like Grandma used to make it. Pork and sausage and meatballs, and the sauce was incredible. Salad. I was feasting, so it was just great. It was a really, really nice evening. And I say that I relaxed yesterday, but the day got started kind of early, and I was working on construction stuff with my buddy Luke for Sybil, which was great. We're trying to get all that stuff pieced together. We're pretty excited about it. And then working on some other projects that we've got coming up for that. And then there were some of you guys yesterday that needed encouragement, and you picked up the phone and you called me, which you guys can do anytime at all. And if I don't get back to you, make sure just text me, because I may have been in a meeting or I may have been with somebody else, but you guys know I'm going to get back to you the first chance I get. Melissa, what's up, sweetheart? Roger, what's going on? So, I just, it was a great day, and then was able to move forward with some of the projects that we have going on with Patriot Command Center. Tonight we've got a Breathe Free event, location to be announced for all you Antifa and county employees that are out there ready to, where is it? We have another Small Business Coalition meeting tonight as well. Anthony, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Brandon. We've got another, then the Small Business Coalition will immediately follow our two groups with Breathe Free and Small Business Coalition. It was a perfect pairing, and thank you to Heather and Marie for allowing that to happen. And thank you for all the restaurants that have contributed and done what they're doing for us and with us. And tonight we've got a restaurant that's coming out and serving us. It's going to be great. And I haven't seen him in a minute. I'm a great guy, great food. And again, Alicia, what's up, hon? Great to see you. I'm not going to tell you what the name is, because we know how these people get triggered. And you're a super spreader. You're the worst person on the face of the planet. So with my family, what I do is I say, look, they have their viewpoints, and I have my viewpoints. And there are some members of my family that they just don't agree with me, and that's okay. But all too often, what we see from people on the left, the far left, or anybody who believes that what is happening now, how do they respond? They want to badger, shame, belittle, berate. They just want to tear you apart, tear you down. If they see you happy, they're trying to do everything that they can to bring you down. And just, good morning, Kathy. Great to see you, hon. Is that Heather? Heather, what's up? Great to see you, hon. And guys, Heather deserves a huge, huge, huge thank you for everything that she is doing with our Christmas party, with our whole group. Our groups are doing everything together, obviously, but Heather deserves a big round of applause and just a congratulations. Go up and thank her. And then also with Breathe Free, she's been doing a great job, like I said, coordinating everything with Breathe Free, and then tying into what we've got going on with Small Business Coalition. So great seeing you. Give Lexi a big hug for me, hon. And then, hey, Melissa, what's up? Oh, man, I get to see all you guys. So our families and friends, as we know, co-workers and right down the line, we end up getting berated and chastised and belittled, and even our husbands, right? Our wives, our children, our aunts, uncles, just nasty, just like bordering on hate. And I dealt with that, and I still deal with that, as we all do. And I made a choice. I said, I'm not going to continue fighting them. I'm not going to continue trying to win those battles, because you're never going to win those battles. All you can do is hope that by living your life the way that we live our lives, the way we choose to live our lives, without fear, being happy, embracing one another, embracing family, embracing friends, encouraging them, doing everything we can to lift their spirits up. And we hope that by living that example, others are going to see that. And that they're going to be like, hey, you know what? They're not getting COVID. They're not wearing a mask. And I think that it's accelerating, right? Again, we've got this point where people are thinking it's okay to discriminate and, be a bigot and be prejudiced against people that think and feel like us. But you guys have to know you're not alone. We are the vast majority of everybody, not only in this area, but in the country, in the state. Media, social media, incessantly, obsessively trying to just utter attack psychologically, day in and day out. And we are blessed to have one another. We really are. And you guys see how many people drive by and beep their horns when we're out there. That's why we do rallies. That's why we do protests. Because those are arenas and venues that people aren't ever going to see us. Or they're going to see us where ordinarily they would never see us. They wouldn't see us on Facebook. Facebook is burying the message, right? People go, what do they say all the time? I didn't know this group existed. I've been hoping, I met Carol the other day, and Carol came in and she goes, and just like so many of us, when we came into these groups, remember that feeling. They go, this does so, what is it always? It's my heart, my soul, my spirit, my mind. I'm so excited that I got to see that these groups are I have no idea that these groups were out there. I had none. I'm so grateful I found you guys. We've all said that. Greg, what's up, brother? We've all been there. And it's so important, as you guys are starting to realize, it is so critically important to make sure we embrace those people, welcome them in the same way that one of us was welcomed in. Take their phone number down. Make sure you reach out to them. Make sure you put them in your team. Your team's of 20 that you have with your group texts that they go out, they look like they go out individually. So if you have a group chat with 20, make it so it goes out individually. The reason is you're not going to get all the text messages back, in one group and drive everybody crazy. And make sure that you let people know, Dan, what's up, brother? Make sure you let people know that when they do that, they are only responding, to the event. If your phone doesn't allow you to just do individually text in a group, then let them know it's just informational, informative, and that they should then get back to you individually if they have any questions. And then if they want to get to know everybody else, just like everybody in these groups, right? We didn't know anybody when we first came in, and then one person by one person by one person by one person, and now all of a sudden people are just interwoven and connected even more than they ever were. And people are like, oh, I'm doing this with this person, and I'm doing this with Mike, what's up? And Rosalind, what's up? I'm doing this with this person, and I'm going out, and I'm having these text messages, and I'm having so much fun with this person, and I'm having so much fun with that person, and we're getting together for dinner. And these were people that a couple of weeks ago, months ago, we didn't know one another. We didn't. Rooster, I know it is so great to see everybody, right? And look at Rooster and Amanda, and they come into the groups, and now they're having these conversations with everybody, and it's just building these bonds. It really is these really deep, deep, deep bonds, right? And this group is comprised of wonderful, amazing people. I believe with all my heart, in all of our lives, you take a look at what churches we belong to, what schools we belong to, what charities we belong to, what organizations we belong to, our families, our group of friends, sports teams, our places of business. You think about it. Why is it that we have so many people? What's up, Wyatt? Why do we have, good morning, brother. Why do we have so many people gravitating towards what we're building together? Why is it that people have those smiles on their faces and those smiles in their hearts and that passion? And you just feel it reverberating, right? Jeff, what's up? you just feel it from when we get together. When we get to, whatever it is, you just feel it. And it's so important to do your part, to not have those conversations in your own mind or with anybody in the group that can be detrimental or undermining or sabotaging, right? Even that little bit that you do. I was someplace the other day and I was sitting around, just like with my family. And I was taking it all in, and I had heard some different things at the energy levels and, cosmically different things. And I was like, I want to see if this is going to apply, because a lot of people were off. A lot of people were off last week in a number of ways, and we could have jumped off track. There were a lot of different times where we could have jumped off track. But there were those people, those core people, those people like Marie, those people that are just stoic, that they need that help when they need it. But, just all the names that I think of that are just committed and convicted and resolute, but they waver too, right? There are times, I love it that they loved us, Rooster. How amazing will it be when everything opens up and that they come over here and travel over here, and then it just expands out. Like, and then all of a sudden, rather than just being here, we're traveling over there, we're going over their places. It's going to be awesome. This is only the start, guys. It is only the start. So I was sitting there and I'm like, man, there's just a lot of heaviness, right? And we'd had a good day. Everything was a really, really good day. And we were leading up into a good week, a good weekend. But, the conversation was being directed. And I think that that's one thing that I never really understood or appreciated. In my life, I thought that I was doing good things. And I thought that I was trying to help people. But there were a lot of times that I could have been I was very, very negative energy. And how did I do that? I did that just by not having positive, fun conversations with people. I may have said one thing that I thought about a person that wasn't really like overly negative, but it starts it down that path, right? Maybe you're upset about something and you yell at somebody. Even myself, I got off my path last week a little bit, right? It was either last week or the week before. And, there were a lot of different things that were happening. A lot of different people were bombarding with different stuff. And, there were a couple of different things that happened. And, with some different individuals whose names I'm not going to name. But what could I have done? I could have fed into it. And I could have succumbed to it. And I could have said, you know what? This, right? Those things are never not going to be there in our minds. They're always going to be there. We're human beings. Those are just feelings that everybody you're just naturally going to have them. But this is what you can control. As you get better and, in these situations more and more and more, you'll become better equipped. You'll have the tools and the coping mechanisms to say, you know what? It's not that big a deal. And even though I know that I got a bunch of ways I could respond to this situation, but what I'm going to choose to do is say, you know what? It's okay. I made a mistake. If you need to apologize, you apologize to somebody. You explain, why maybe you reacted the way that you did. And you just keep it positive. And if you just keep going down that positive path in that direction, you then have more experiences. You have more wisdom with it. And you're all of a sudden going, man, I don't even feel like having, saying these negative things, even the smallest little things. And then it opens your mind and your heart up to being somebody that is able then not to just navigate life and get through it, but then to be aware and mindful of the people that are around you. Absolutely. Rooster, stronger minded. stronger spirit, stronger, soul, stronger emotionally, intellectually, psychologically. You become more aware of who is out there. And you're open and receptive to what their needs are. And then you go up to that person, you have a conversation that's meaningful. It doesn't have to be all, got to share every last little story of the world. You don't. But just letting them know that they matter and that you care about them. That's all it takes sometimes. So when we're off of that path where we have that darkness in us, right? And we start to just allow all of that refreshing air and positivity, it's so helpful in getting through those moments that are a challenge, or that, hey Maria, what's up, hon? And where we ordinarily, what our inclinations are, what our predispositions are to reacting to that, what our schema is, what our tendencies are, we step away from them because it's so easy to be reactionary, right? You get that text sent, you want to, you hear that phone call, somebody says something, you heard somebody say something, Jason, what's up? It's so easy to go down that path. But I'm telling you, it's even easier to go down a path where you're feeling positive. It's just so much better for you. So much better for your heart, your mind, your soul. So with me and my family and in the experiences that I've had in my life, they all built me up. Exactly. Absolutely right, Hannah. Think. Exactly. Always take a step back and think before you act and say something, for sure. And it's even your demeanor, your mannerisms. It's how you're carrying yourself. Be cognizant of your face. Our face is all, everybody can read your face, but even your body language, everybody can. So just try to, be up, be happy, smiling. And one of those things are like, we talk about our mothers and our fathers, or our grandmothers and our grandfathers, and we take a look at how much they had and didn't have. But what were they? They were always making sure everybody was as happy as they could be, right? Kim, good morning, hon. We were always trying to be they were always trying to make sure everybody was taken care of, protected, and insulated, right? We didn't know you didn't have anything, and they never let us know that. And we've got way more than what they had. Like our families and our parents, they had friends, right? They had coworkers and they had families, but maybe not everybody was together. And being at the level of understanding that we are right now, and I believe we've been at these points before, but through commercialism and corporatocracy and government intervention and aristocrats and autocrats and corporatocrats, whatever they are, the elitists, they're always trying to do everything that they can do to keep us down and bury us. So they've stripped that. What we used to know, they stripped us of it. How we used to be together. They are doing everything that they can to separate and keep us individualized. And now we're getting back to that en masse. Joe, what's up, brother? I hope that garage door worked out. I saw your text come in. I'll respond to it once I get off. But we're starting to get back to that. And what they don't have is absolutely, Rooster, you nailed it again. And what they didn't have is that understanding, or the tools and the vehicles and the mechanisms and the means to get to where we're getting, texting, social media, even phones, getting in the car, driving over to somebody's house, all the... Should I sing that one? Wait, are we allowed to sing that one this year or not? I can't remember. It is a little nipply for sure. But all of these great things, being able to even in our phones, keep a little note and say to ourselves, hey, absolutely, Lisa nailed it. Keep a little note. And you don't get OCD with it. Like, that is the worst thing you can do. Do not get obsessive about it. Do not become compulsive with it. Let it just be natural and organic and uncontrived, and let it flow. Because when you feel that is when it's real. You're able to take that breath and slow down. You're able to just feel that peace, just radiating and coursing through your body. Like, it's just that energy that you feel from everybody, that happiness, that joy, that exuberance. And we're so blessed to have the gift of the abilities that we have to be able to come together and to just have those smiles on our faces and that knowing and the embrace, and not doing any of those things that, and one of the things too that it kind of sucks a little bit, and I'm getting off on a tangent here, I'll get back to my family, is don't get rid of the creepiness. Like, let's disavow the creepiness, right? And it's not really the women with the men, but it's the men with the women. One of the best lessons that I learned, guys, any of the guys that are watching or who will watch this, Barb, good morning, sweetheart. If a woman reaches out to you, it doesn't mean that she wants to go to bed with you all the time necessarily. Sometimes it does, but be a gentleman about it, as my chivalry. Be a little chivalrous with it. Let the mystery build. If it's there, it'll be there in a month. You can wait, I promise. 2 months, however long, and it's going to be way more powerful and way stronger than it would ever be. You're just going to start attacking somebody. And we should never, ever, ever, I become a woman overnight. I don't know. Maybe I'm in touch with my family. I'm not going there. Stop. It's stopping. Right now, I'm stopping going down that course. We got to be very careful with what I'm going to say right now. So guys, stop being creepers. Like, if a woman ends up reaching out to you because she enjoys something that you said, don't look at it as though you got to go. The best thing that I realized is, oh, yes, okay, all right. Oh, all right, perfect, that's great. Mike, we're going to talk. Dan, oh my God, great to see you, buddy, awesome. So, we got a lot to do, lots to talk about. Get through this. Stay focused. Stay focused, Pete. So easy. It's just so easy. Shiny thing. Squirrel. So, stay focused. Just, if a woman reaches, the best thing that I realized, women make the best friends. Like, they really do. And so many women are empty nesters, and they just want, oh, yes, I love it, Mike, perfect. So they just want companionship. They just want friendship. They've lived their lives, and guys, there's this equity from our 40s until our 80s that we're told, we're done. We had our kids, we raised our kids, and then, we're left to just, wander around in space until we die. And it's just so not true. Like, that is the time when we have all that experience, we have all that wisdom, so much information and knowledge that we accrue and have accrued, that we can start to help individuals in that soft, measured, gentle way that is subdued and not in your face. Again, just being a friend, getting back to that and building these friendships, building these bonds to the point where we get to be family. So, get a female friend. I think we should do that as a theme of one of the things that we do is get a female friend month. Because get several female friends, because there are so many women that just at home alone, and men too. This is for men too, but men were a little bit more caveman-y, you know what I mean? So, I love it, Mark. Mark, it's great to see you, brother. It is, we're a little more caveman-y, there's no doubt. We're a little bit more content to sit there and just do whatever the hell it is that we're doing alone sometimes. But there's still a lot of guys out there that, you ain't old, Anna. You aren't old. Stop. So, but we got to get off of that thought process of a guy and a girl just has to be, in a relationship, and that's the only way it can be. It's not. You can just be friends with that person. And there are so many women out there that want to have somebody there to be with and be for. You just think about it. If we could, if we shed that whole thing, and you go, Pete, where can I find a friend like that? These groups. Don't be creepy. If a woman reaches out to you, just be normal. Be a friend like you would be to a buddy. And they're going to appreciate that. They're going to respect that. And that's going to build that trust and that bond. And don't have the underlying pretense, or those, there's another word, oh man, it's escaping me. It's evading me. It's eluding me. I can't think of it. Don't have that underlying, pretext of saying, hey, I'm down the road. This is what I want. No, just let it be friends, because you're going to be amazed at how incredible that friendship is and how giving and nurturing and fostering that friendship is. Because, we don't need to be alone anymore. And we don't need church. If you want church, that's great. But for me, what church was a bunch of people coming in, and most of them not wanting to be there, just looking at their watches so they get the heck out of there. And nobody was really connected in a meaningful way. Now, there may have been a lot of people there that you could have had a good relationship with, but you never did. That was my experience. And I know that's a lot of people's experiences. I know a lot of people don't have that experience, but most of us have had that experience inside a church. It doesn't have to be about that. What it's about is just paying attention to somebody, making sure somebody knows that they matter and that you care about them in simple ways, kind words, one text, a couple of texts, a little bit of this, a conversation, pick up the phone, schedule a day to get together, schedule 2 days to get together, and do whatever the heck it is that you want. Do things that you would never have done before, or that you haven't done in years and years and years and years and years. And no matter what your age is, so many women in their 70s and their 60s and their 50s are still so virile, right? And, maybe you just haven't, you completely lost faith in the male race, understand, or the male gender, I should say, the male gender. And that's understandable. I see it out there all the time. But as a woman, you can direct that and find these guys and help them and coach them. And you can say, hey, you know what? I get it. I get why you want to launch right into a relationship. Trisha, what's up? Julie, I think I said good morning, but just in case I didn't, good morning. You can direct and guide that and coach them. Because what's happening is this. Guys, because there are a handful of women out there that respond to the way that they engage them, they feel like every woman is that way. And it's not. And rather than getting upset at them when they do that, take that second to just say, absolutely, you nailed it. Kathy nailed it. Some beautiful words. But you can coach and guide and direct them and say, hey, some women may appreciate that. That's not me. But you seem like you're a good person and that there can be something there. I'm not looking for a relationship in an intimate context, but I am looking for something that, is friendly in a friendship. And I just want somebody to get together with, and I'm not looking for, down the road there to be a relationship. And having that conversation, just like These guys have been conditioned by these one or two women that are out there that want, it to be sexual that way immediately. You can show them that, hey, and if they're like, no, F that, don't absorb it. Go, okay, great. I understand. That's no problem. I get it. You're looking for something else. But don't let that discourage you and deter you from doing it again and again and again. With every single person or guy that reaches out to you, you be the one that commands and directs where that conversation goes. Persuade it, manipulate it a little bit. And not in a bad way or a negative way. It's just guiding. Putting it into a context, into an area where it needs to be. Or it should be the way that you want it. If what they're doing is disrespectful, that's okay. But don't be like, just don't, like I always say, don't throw it all out. Be ready to foster it. Just direct it a little bit. And you guys can, and you'll see very quickly how minds will change, approaches will change, hearts will change with men. And they'll start to realize that, it feels pretty damn good to have this woman as a friend. And yeah, maybe we're not in an intimate relationship, but I got to tell you what, I really enjoy the way she cares about me, because women who are in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, they have so much love to give. But they're running into walls, one after the other, friends, co-workers, family, whatever it is. But we are coming together in a way that we can start to show people that it's okay just to be a friend with somebody of the opposite sex. And if people are going to talk or say something, don't validate it, don't affirmate it, don't acknowledge it. Just, yeah, we're friends, that's it. That's okay. And let them talk all they want. That's just ping, 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 ping. That's the way I've approached it. I'm so blessed to have so many friends that way. And like I've told you, you don't have to have that friend that, you maybe feel super attracted to, or that is, somebody that you're physically connected to that way, or even sexually. You don't have to do that. Take a look at somebody that would be outside of where you normally would be with that. Because those people that we make presumptions about are the people with the biggest hearts and the biggest passion. And that are going to be so committed and loyal to a friendship. They just need somebody there to say, I'm here for you. And guys, there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of us here in this county right now. Just imagine if each one of us picked up one friend like that. How much different would it be? Yeah, I know, absolutely. You're right, Rooster, I agree. Just, you guys hear me talk about being with neighbors and, doing this and doing that, but just if we all picked up one friend, the thousands of people that are in this group, and then we showed people how it can be, and then you picked up a second friend. The biggest misconception is, and the biggest travesty that has been pushed on all of us, was that one line from Stand By Me that said, in all the films that showed us that the best friends we were ever going to have were the friends that we had in grammar school and in high school and at the beginning of our lives. No! That is a lie! We didn't even know how to make friends back then. Like, we were just open, right? We accepted everybody in. And then, we got hurt, maybe we got, turned down, jaded a little bit, we got calloused, hardened. But now that we are at that point in our lives that we know what life is about, how to overcome the obstacles and the pitfalls that are out there. Now is the best time to make those friends and develop those friendships. Yeah, absolutely, Anna. That we develop those friendships in a way because we know how to be a good friend. And then when we have a good friend, we expand even more. We pay attention to, hey, when is their birthday? And not just that, but what are they going through? Did they talk about work the other day? Ask about it. Be uplifting. Don't feed into that negativity, right? Christina, what's going on, hon? Good morning. And that's how we take ownership of this happiness, this peacefulness, this existence where, we really can truly embrace it and live it. Because we're not going to feel alone and fearful or jaded. So with me, with a lot of the situations that I've had in my life, it's been duplicitous, right? It's been nuanced and intricate, not just a dichotomy, but, multichotomy, whatever the heck word that is. On one side, I would try to be a good person, and that was a part of me. But there were other parts of me that I wasn't a good person, and I wasn't treating people the right way. And it wasn't malicious with the intent, it was just not knowing. It was being oblivious. Really, oblivious is really where it's, because I'm not by nature, I'm not a nasty person or a bad person. It was just oblivious. And maybe you think that people appreciate, or maybe you get some laughs from it, so you get some type of validation, or it's feeding you somehow. And once you start to take a look at it, you go, man, the way I'm reacting and behaving to these situations, the way I'm thinking it and approaching it isn't right. It's not healthy. And then you're able to kind of get to a point where you're like, man, that's not what it's about. It really is about those interpersonal relationships, one-on-one, being present and being aware. And I need to work on that. Still, I need to work on that. Mark knows. Yeah, that happens. And that was on the football field in sports, total jerk. But learning that, using all of that experience of people like Mark, and people like so many other people that helped me along the way to get to the point where I'm at right now. And I'm not anywhere. I need to go so much further to be present, mindful, and aware, and not selfish in a lot of different relationships. And these are all things that we can learn and expand upon every day. And people ask me, they say, hey, Pete, well, how do you get to that point? It's just one little thing at a time. Your journey is only your journey. But, recognize the different things that you have. Yep. Christina has seen my game face. Yep. Yeah. Look, I'm not going to lie. I am somebody that absolutely loves to fight. There's no doubt about it. I love to play football, and it used to be where I loved to win. Now it's not that. I love to fight more than anything. I love to play the game. I love to be in the game. But what I've learned is, what I used to do, I would say, screw that other person, the enemy. Now I look at them and I go, man, they do that right, or they do that well. And I got to try to figure that out, apply it, or figure out how to beat it. And that's where all those people like Christina and Mark and Kevin and, Mike, and all the names that I play football with that helped me along my path, and that I played volleyball with and helped me along my path to get me to where I need to be. So I still love the fight. Absolutely love the fight. And don't get me wrong, when Antifa is there, is there that big part of me that, it's that competitive nature. Like, you've been in those settings, you've been in those theaters, you've been in those arenas, you've done it. And you've done it very capably, but very successfully. But that you look at the other side and you go, these are people that maybe 90% of them are redeemable. That you can reach out to and connect with in some level, in some way. That hate and anger that they have in their heart, it was sourced somewhere. Now, some of them are just psychopaths and they're sociopaths. I'm not saying that in a negative way, but some people just are so far gone that you can't help them. And yeah, Christina, absolutely. That was beautiful, Christina. Thank you. That means the world to me. Thank you, honey. But it's some people you just can't, but we can't focus in on them. We focus in on embodying and personifying and exemplifying together who we are, and what we do. There's this post out that's going around, and I responded to it, but I responded to it in a kind way. It shows ISIS, and then it shows American ISIS or something like that. Right? Absolutely, Mark, you battled too, man. You always brought it. But, and then they're showing American ISIS, us, people in vehicles with American flags and Trump flags on it. And everybody knows how many negative things they say about me and the Orticellis. They set something up, Antifa did the other day, and it was a picture of Nick. And it was like the worst picture they could find, which wasn't even a bad picture. I'm like, that's a bad picture. And it said, what Nick and Pete and Nancy look like, after a 4-day bender. And Nick and Nancy and I were all like, they know us? And they're following us, that they know we've been doing this for 4 days every day and even more. And I go, Nick's picture doesn't even look bad. Nancy sent it over to me. Nancy and I, she's like, they just don't understand this. She's like, I love this stuff when they send it, because she's like, it's hilarious. I go, I know. They're so creative. They're friggin' brilliant with their minds, Antifa. And it's just like the thing, how the creativity, the stuff that they come up, it's just like, if only you realize you didn't have to have that hate in your heart. Like, we could work together and accomplish so much. We are against fascism, the same thing that you guys are against. We're against this. And we find it friggin' hilarious. We love this stuff that you post, no matter how hate-filled it is. We're like, that's pretty funny, And it was just great. And I'm going, man, Nick still looks pretty good. I'm like, if I go, if that's the worst picture that they could find, so I'm like, man, we're doing a pretty good job. So it's just funny though, man. And it's just important to stay away from that stuff. Yep, you nailed it. Absolutely, Rooster. And not feed into that negativity. And there is a lot of that negativity. Turn off that TV. If you have to disassociate or distance yourself from people on your Facebook page, block them from being able to see your posts. Don't engage with them negatively. Don't engage with your family negatively. Don't engage with your friends negatively. Even if somebody in the group has done something to slight you that you've perceived, let it go. Don't let any of that attach itself to you. Because I can guarantee you, I was close with all the stuff that I was getting hammered with a couple of weeks ago. But what did we all do? We all came together. You guys were all there for me. Chad, what's up? We got a hike supposed to be planned. We got to get this in. Joe wants to go too, so let's make it happen. Both Joes, Joe Square, Joe Cubed, actually. It's Joe Cubed. So we all want to go. But, we came together instead of dividing. And it was a beautiful thing. Some of us made mistakes and errors, and we were just like, that's okay. That's what family's about. Accepting and lifting somebody up when they need it. So no matter what your family's saying, what your friends are saying, don't feed into it. Don't engage it. Because here's what happens. And what I alluded to earlier was that I was sitting there at this gathering that we had, and people were like, Pete, why are you quiet? And I was just sitting there taking it all in, monitoring what the interactions were, and appreciating and relishing and treasuring what has come together. People that didn't even know each other before that night, last week, the week before, interacting and just talking and engaging. building those bonds and those friendships. And I was just like, man, this is just so beautiful. But then I noticed this edginess. There was this edginess. And, what was the source of the edginess? I don't know. But I know one individual in the group specifically has had so many smiles. And ordinarily this person would be somebody that would have that negativity or would say or react or behave in a way that is just not healthy. And this person has just had so much, smiles. And this person is somebody that has known a lot of pain in their life. And to see the transformation start to happen, this person is invaluable to the group. And that's important for each one of us to realize, that each one of us has a role and a slot and a position in this family. And this individual that I'm talking about can be negative quite a bit of the time. And he can do things that are detrimental to what we're doing. But this person has, for whatever reason, starting to see a transformation. And whether it's because this person is seeing that no matter what he does, no matter what they do, no matter what they do, we're going to accept them. And we're going to be there for them. And that may be the first time in this person's life that they ever felt that. Good morning, Eileen. Good morning, Pam. It's great to see you. My glasses aren't working now. Yeah, it's my glasses. Not my eyes, it's the glasses, right? So, I don't think I've gone in for, it's a prescription or subscription? It's prescription, right? I think, or is it subscription? No, it's prescription. I know which one it is. But it is so incredible to see this person laughing. Mark, man, the feelings I have for you, brother, are just so intense. You know that. You're welcome, bud. You're so welcome, man. And we'd love to have you in this group. We'd love to have you. Message me. And on the phone, you've got my number. Or message me here, and we'll connect that way. But for the first time in this person's life, it may be that they've experienced that unconditionality of love and respect and appreciation, and the test, the constant testing, and it was constant and it was incessant. And I'm not saying it's not going to be there again, but this person has grown. This person has transformed. They have lifted themselves up along with everybody else by seeing that person is not going to be abandoned, that we're not going to leave them by the side, that we're truly going to be there for them. And this person, the value that they have to the group is immeasurable. It's incalculable. They are the kind of person that once they learn, and this is where we never stop learning. We never stop learning to be better, to do better, to see how people look at us and our roles are. I was completely oblivious to it in the past. And now in the very recent past, and even today. But we're always trying to gain knowledge and acquire knowledge and become better. And this person, as all of us are, we're tweaking and adapting. We've got our own individual personalities, which are just incredible to experience, but at the same time, we're learning very similar things to be able to keep us together as family. And where we've lost family, we don't dwell on that. And where we've lost our friends, we don't dwell on that. And maybe we've lost somebody that means the world to us, but we don't dwell on that. And why? Because I don't like to say, the high road because it's still divisive, right? It's like, well, I did this. It's just that we approached it in a way that was healthy. I think that's the best way to describe it. Healthy. And when somebody else sees us react and respond that way, instead of, they're going to respect and appreciate that. Even on the slightest, seemingly insignificant way, they are going to remember that. And then when you interact with that person in the future, you've already started it, that interpersonal connection that you have, you've already diverted it, from going down a certain path, just a little bit. And then you react the same way the next time in a healthy and a positive way, and you go, you know what? We don't see eye to eye, but I appreciate your opinion and your position. I feel like you're getting elevated and escalated at this point. I'm going to remove myself from the situation. And, I'm going to wish you well today. If you want to come back, if you feel like you're able to talk yourself down and come down and we can have, a civil, healthy conversation, by all means, I'm here. I'm not angry, not upset with you. I'm here when you're ready. And then all of a sudden that person sees how they're behaving in a little bit of a different way. It expands their consciousness. It shows them how they are acting and behaving selfishly, and how that they need to be aware of that and not oblivious of that just that one person can impact lives in really, really, really big ways. And just to wrap this up today, and I know that there's a lot of things that other people want me to talk about, but we're at about an hour, and I try to keep it there. Don't feed that negativity, guys. That is the most important thing. When you start to see yourself spiraling, take those breaths. Center yourself. Good morning, Amber. As frustrating as things could be, and you know what we want to say, stupid, whatever, this or that, or, stupid law, or stupid this. No, it's us and how we're thinking about it. Stupid mailman, stupid whatever it is. We don't even do that. Once you feel yourself start to spiral, pull yourself back in, take that deep breath, center yourself, and ask yourself, why am I feeling all of this anxiety? Why am I feeling so anxious and all this depression? Which conversations and narratives am I having inside my head or allowing to watch or visit? And don't do it. Don't read those negative posts, Yeah. And, don't allow those negative texts to come in. Even if Biden wins, guys, stay uplifted, stay positive, stay together. Because what we're building together, good morning, what we're building together, people see that and they are gravitating towards it in droves. What we need to do as a whole, what we're not used to doing, even and including myself, we need to make sure we are paying attention to those people, that we are welcoming them in, embracing them, getting them in our phones. Guys, and I just tell you this, get a second phone. With what you have with family and friends is very difficult to then start to incorporate and integrate everybody that's in these things. It is. And you want to make sure everybody that you are building in your teams is a priority. Second phone doesn't cost that much, Some of us can't afford it, and that's fine. We're going to get to the point where you're going to be able to afford it. But go out and get that. And you don't have to carry it around with you all day. All you need to do is just have it there, that rather than going to that Facebook page or whatever page it is that you go to negatively, now, or if you're watching TV, now you go to that phone. And you see all the beautiful texts that you got throughout the course of the day. And then you respond to people. But again, it doesn't have to be obsessive or compulsive. You're doing it in a way that is just making sure people know you're there with them and for them. And you don't have to be involved in everything. Like, that's the key. Don't ever become OCD with this. Don't ever feel that, well, all this stuff is going on, all these groups are out there. Don't feel like you have to do that. A lot of that stuff can be static and things that you need to tune out as well. I know people are getting frustrated by the number of groups that are out there, and I'm not going to get into that. We've talked about that before. I am going to be on later. That is a fact. We do have Small Business Coalition meeting tonight with Marie, location to be announced, and we do have Breathe Free event, the location to be announced. If you guys want to be I know I haven't, it was a very busy weekend, guys. Today I'm going to be focused in on going through Messenger today and approving all the friend requests, and then getting back to everybody that has reached out to me. So I'm going to do that. But if you guys are interested in becoming a part of Breathe Free or Small Business Coalition, please make sure you message me, and I'll give your information and contact information to who we need to, so you guys can start to get these emails, all right? But then you got this phone. So like I said before, the experiences that I've had with my family, they built me to where I'm at, even the negative ones. And a lot of times the negative ones are the ones you get the biggest lessons from. Good morning, Rachel. But hanging on to any of that, that's us. What we choose to look at, what we choose to watch, what we choose to allow absorb into us and affect us, that's on us. It's not on anybody else. And once you start to think about how much time you applied yesterday to negative thoughts, to worrying, to concern, to big things like, what's going on in the country, what's going on in the election, what's going on with the military, these super, super big things. We can't affect those things. We can prepare for them. We can be responsible with them. But what can we affect? This. That's what we can affect. That's what we can have an impact on. Right now. Oh, and right now. Right now. Right now. Oh, now, a few minutes from now, a few more minutes from now, that's what we can affect and impact. And when you realize that, you don't have to worry and concern yourself with all that other stuff that's going on in the world. You'll take a look at it, and you're going to approach your day, and you're going to be like, oh my God, yeah. All of a sudden, you're going to get that bed made, and you're going to make yourself breakfast. I'm having breakfast. Maybe you decide to focus in on, rather than that, there's hours of negativity that you expended yesterday, exhausted, gone, wasted, forever. Bridget, what's up, hon? Don't do it. Sean, what's up, brother? Don't do it. Because just think about those hours you spent consumed inside your mind with all that anxiety. Just think about what you could have accomplished if you would have applied it towards making cookies for friends, picking up the phone, building your team with what we're creating here. Think about how much you could have gotten done. And don't worry about that it happened. Like, don't beat yourself up about it, that it happened. Just learn from it. And then today, start to redirect those thoughts. Take yourself that need that we all have. I'm going to look at that, and then I'm going to respond to it negatively because I'm going to show them. Who cares? At the end of the day, what difference does it make if that person has a negative thought? Do you know how many thousands and thousands and thousands of mean-spirited, nasty, hate-filled things have been said about me in the past 8 months? And look at me. I don't care because I don't feed into it. And people will say, and they'll send it to me, and they'll go, Pete, look at what this person said. Look at this person said. I go, man, Sean knows. Before a game, before a football game, I've been told things that were way worse than that. First minute inside a football game, I've been told things that are infinitely worse than that. And those people, those were all lessons that are invaluable to me, because the friendships and the bonds that even the people that drew like this with on the football field, we've come together too. And maybe we're not best friends, but at least we're friends. And there's a respect there. And it's the same thing with these other people that don't even know us. Just think about why it is that they would say something like that. You know, be able to sympathize or be able to empathize with that. Have some compassion about what their history is, and then just move past it. And even if you want to, say, hey, you know what? I'm a Trump supporter. I love you. Have a great day. Imagine doing that with everybody that posted something negative. You know, I'm a patriot. I'm a freedom fighter. I believe in this, but you know what? I love you. I love your ability to express yourself. And maybe they come back with, blah, 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 blah. But who cares? You just and let it go. If you see that notification that comes up in your Facebook, don't even read it. You know, or if you want to see if it's positive or not, absolutely do that once. But if you know it's negative, just let it go and move on to something with that negative. And we really have to start measuring and calculating our days with this. And I want you guys to take a look at your day today and say, how much time? Be very, very mindful of it. You know, be aware of it. Be conscious of it. And say, how much time did I apply being negative today, or focusing in on something that I could have redirected the way I was thinking about it and approaching it? So, guys, don't worry about the election, okay? Whatever happens, it'll take care of itself. Don't worry about if there's a military buildup. Don't worry about this stuff. We can't impact or affect those things, but what we can are ourselves and our interactions with others and how we're treating ourselves. I'm going to go eat. Lots and lots of food right now. Well, then I'm going to go. I'm going to get going again. So, love you guys very much. Enjoy your days. I love seeing you guys here. Have a wonderful day. If anything happens, I will see you guys on, at noon. And guys, what I wanted to tell you is this. Believe this for a fact. You all look beautiful today. You all look gorgeous. You look magnificent. Even though you may not feel it or be thinking it, you do. You absolutely do. And that may be corny or campy, but sometimes we need that little bit of hearing that. I'll see you guys later. Take care.